Okay, picture this. A band that doesn't actually exist just topped the Billboard charts. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're skipping the minor tech updates and jumping straight into the deep end. We're looking at how AI is completely industrializing both creativity and software engineering. We're talking machine-generated chart toppers, mind-boggling $60 billion buyouts, and a fundamental shift in how we actually work.
So let's dive right into this whole fake band situation. There is a fully machine-generated country band called Breaking Rust, and they literally just hit #1 on Billboard's Country Digital Songs Sales chart. That's right. A band with 0 physical members just outsold actual touring human musicians on a major national chart. Unbelievable, right?
And honestly, this highlights a massive cultural shift that we simply can't ignore. As the MIT Technology Review pointed out, audiences are now eagerly consuming machine-made music. The big takeaway here? Consumers just don't care about the origins of their media anymore. If the song is catchy, if the vibe is right, people will happily stream machine-made entertainment without a second thought. Which brings us to Section 1, the new creative machines, democratizing video and music production. Because guys, this is not just about one country band getting lucky. The underlying technology here is completely rewriting the rules, and it's building across the entire audio landscape. Look at Google Lyria 3, which is built right into Gemini. It instantly churns out 30-second tracks, complete with lyrics and cover art. Then you have 11 Labs Music V2 letting developers create and remix original music on the fly via an API. And maybe the most wild part? These new Dubbing V2 tools. They totally eliminate those old, clunky robotic translated voices by perfectly carrying over your actual human emotion, your pacing, and your exact tone into over 90 different languages. But if you think audio is crazy, the visual side is on a whole other level. It's being led by a tool called Google Flow. Think of this as a free AI studio where you aren't just typing a prompt and crossing your fingers anymore. You're actually acting as a legitimate creative director, lining up shots on a timeline using an AI agent, all powered by Google's Gemini Omni text-to-video model.
Now, the secret sauce to making cinematic AI video actually look cohesive, instead of like a random, trippy jumble of mismatched clips, is this strict 3-step workflow. Step 1, you lock your AI character. Step 2, you lock your location. And only then, Step 3, do you generate your full storyboard grid. It forces the AI to keep your subject and your setting totally stable from the very first frame to the last.
To pull this off, Google DeepMind breaks down Omni's prompting into 5 core building blocks: framing and motion, style, lighting, location, and action. This structure is a total game changer. A creator can just type a high-level concept, something like alien landscape with azure water, and the AI's internal reasoning just fills in all the exact complex lighting and stylistic details for you. It's literally doing the heavy lifting of a full Hollywood production crew.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the industrialization of code, from typing to vibing. Because if AI can automate a film director's job, you'd better believe it's coming for software engineers next.
Just look at this absolutely staggering number: $60 billion. That is the amount SpaceX recently agreed to acquire the AI coding startup Cursor for after its IPO. And by the way, that deal includes a wild $10 billion fallback. It's an astronomical valuation, and it proves just how valuable this shift is to the biggest tech companies on the planet.
This crazy valuation is entirely fueled by a massive shift in how developers actually work. We are officially moving away from traditional coding, where a developer sits there painstakingly debugging state management and typing out exact syntax line by line, and we're entering the era of vibe coding. In this new era, developers just provide high-level intent, and massive, Colossus-backed AI agents handle all the tedious execution. You tell it what you want, and it just builds it. Tech writer Paul Ford recently hit the nail on the head in the New York Times, declaring that this disruption is officially here. He pointed out that AI agents, like Claude Code, are now allowing single individual users to output hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of software work entirely on their own. We're talking about turning one single person into an entire engineering department.
And Cursor's newest agent, Composer 2.5, proves exactly where all of this is heading. It runs on Moonshot AI's Kimi K2.5 reasoning technology and massive synthetic task training. The end goal here? It isn't just to help you code a little bit faster. The goal is to eliminate writing code entirely. You just describe the edge cases, and the agent simply generates the binary. Boom. Done.
But of course, there's a flip side. Section 3. Pushback and human guardrails. Friction in the machine era.
Because this relentless pace of replacing human output with machine execution, it's not happening in a vacuum. It is hitting some very real friction in courts and governments. For example, a German court just set a massive early European benchmark for creators' rights. They actually found OpenAI liable for copyright breach regarding protected music. They ruled that training ChatGPT without approval broke national rules and ordered them to compensate the rights manager, Jima. It's a huge legal speed bump for this whole scrape everything on the internet era of AI. And it isn't just the courts pushing back. Even the AI companies themselves are getting a bit nervous. Some are actively urging Congress to mandate a brake pedal. Basically, they're worried these frontier models could soon begin improving themselves without human oversight, at a rate we literally cannot monitor in real time. So they're asking the government to mandate technical safeguards to act as a literal kill switch.
We're also seeing sweeping economic proposals to handle this. Take the American AI Sovereign Wealth Fund Act proposed by Senator Bernie Sanders. This would place a one-time 50% tax on frontier AI companies like OpenAI and Anthropic. But here's the interesting part. The tax would be payable in company stock to a federal fund. This would effectively give the public voting rights on these AI company boards, along with eventual dividends, with the argument being that the public should be compensated since their content trained the models in the first place. It really shows the unprecedented structural changes lawmakers are trying to wrap their heads around right now. So as we watch a grueling 40-hour development week potentially shrink down to a breezy 10-hour week, and as fully machine-generated country bands top the Billboard charts, it leaves us with one incredibly provocative thought straight from the tech community itself. Every single time we hit tab to accept an AI code suggestion or tweak an AI video prompt to make it absolutely perfect, are we just training our own replacements? It is a fascinating and, maybe slightly terrifying question. Keep that in mind the next time you fire up one of these tools. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.